Hello, everyone. Welcome to the sixth episode of the Young Podcast. It is currently the 14th day of September, one day after Friday the 13th.
That's true.
And we're both still here, Maha, so I guess, we made it all alive.
We made it, you know what I mean?
How was your week leading up to Friday the 13th?
My week leading up to the 13th. Well, let's see, had my uncle and grandma come in from Spain, so that was dope. So when I picked them up from the airport, missed my way like 2 times. I don't even know how, but
Yeah.
picked them up.
I feel that, dude. I feel that.
And then, I mean, it's not even like you're in Atlanta, right? So you got a real airport. This is Raleigh, dog. Like, airport ain't. There's no reason I should have fucked up, but I did.
That's true. Atlanta Airport is so easy to like run past the place because like it'll give you a sign, like 3 signs a mile before, and then all of a sudden you'll be there, but you won't know that you're there.
Nah, this
So
one.
you're just like,
All right, so it's
at least
not
that's
even
how
my
I
fault.
feel.
Hold on, you're about to get me on a rant before we even start the
my
show. Dog.
God.
So the sign says parking, right?
Mhm.
Parking for Terminal 2. I was trying to get to Terminal 2, parking. So I do that, but then there's a separate section for parking. I guess Terminal 1. I don't even know, dog. It don't even matter because this ain't my fault. So I'm following the Terminal 2 parking sign. I take it. I keep going on the route it tells me to go, and then I'm at arrivals, and I'm like, no, I need a park. So I do it again. I'm gonna follow the sign, and again I'm at arrivals again. And then my mom calls me like, hey, where are you? Your uncle and grandma have been standing there for a while. They're about to get a taxi. I'm like, no, I'm here. I'm just. Then I was like, all right, cool. Let me just go to arrivals then. So I have to do the loop again because I literally, as my mom called me, I'm just passing where they were, but I didn't know they were there. So I loop again to go there to arrivals and finally pick them up. And so I picked them up. First thing my grandma.
So you park to go pick people up?
Well,
I've always just been like,
well, no, I normally do arrivals,
and
but
then
it's
go.
my grandma's there, so walk-ins a little. I thought I was going to get there in time to help them with their bags and stuff, and you know help my grandma get situated and everything. It wouldn't be too much of an issue for her. So parking would have been better in that aspect instead of rush, because in arrivals you kind of have to rush, and it didn't help that I parked in like the taxi part. So finally, by the time we were like almost done, the dude started yelling at me like, "Hey man, you got to go. You can't be here," because a whole bunch of taxis came in, and I was like, "Oh, sorry." Dog. So anywho, that was.
Hold on, your grandma is lives in Spain too? With your
Nah,
uncle?
she kind of travels around. Sometimes she's in Nigeria with my aunt. Sometimes she's in LA with my other uncle. Sometimes she stays with us. But she just travels around. She stays with her kids, you know. But my uncle, he lives in Spain. He lives in Madrid. That's where I went to visit when I went to Spain that one time. It was funny because apparently my mom hasn't seen him in like 27 years, I think she said.
Damn.
So
Why?
like when I went to
so
Spain, I mean it's just how life, you know. Life just goes by, and you live in different countries, not even different states, dog, different countries.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's hard to just make things just exactly.
To visit South Carolina, you know what I mean?
I don't even live in South Carolina, so that'd have been even more of an issue.
Oh yeah.
And that'd have been even more of an issue. He was like, I'm here. Like, where you at, dog? I'm in Charleston. Charleston? We don't got a Charleston here in North Carolina. What you doing, dog? But so yeah, first thing my grandma said to me is like, oh wow, if I just saw you on the road I wouldn't have even known you, because now I got big hair, big beard. I mean, I've always been big, but even bigger, I guess.
Yeah.
So
I see your hair's gotten back to its original state.
I mean, when I decide to comb it up, throw it up, looking clean,
looking clean as
but
hell.
if I don't do all that, because it's work, dog. Like this ain't a get out of bed a little and you done. Like this 20 minutes minimum if you trying to do.
Yeah, I've always had short hair, so it's never been like I just wake up in the morning, hoop, and then we're done. We're good to go.
It's good, yeah. So I usually have short hair, so it's just a couple brush strokes, less than 5 minutes. But anywho.
So I'm gonna tell you about while we're on the topic of hair. Did I tell you I went to the Dominican haircut place finally?
Nah, you didn't tell me that, but I remember you thinking about going there.
Yeah, I finally decided to go. Okay, and man, I tell you, it's exactly what you're imagining. Loud ass music, like Latino music, just playing through the speakers. You could barely hear each other. You could barely hear each other. And because they're Dominican, I can like the speed at which they talk is like 500 words per second. I could barely keep up with what they're saying. But I mean, they did a really good job. He's kind of rough with me though. He was like, "Boom, boom," and I was like trying to keep my neck steady.
Your hair is their canvas.
Yeah,
it's not your hair no more. It's their canvas.
Yeah. But I really enjoyed it. It was a good experience.
And
I was sitting there laughing sometimes just because like
it must be like going to a black barbershop,
like, in a good way.
But like,
yeah,
they Dominican.
I can imagine that.
It's probably like that, the same kind of vibe. But my friend, he actually goes to a Dominican place as well downtown. Since he like works just right there, he loves it as well. Though he's like, I don't be understanding
it's really
shit,
nice.
But he's like, but they're
good.
cool.
They they do their job well. I just can't understand what the hell they're saying, but they try to talk to me in Spanish, and I'm like, dude,
you speak too fast.
Just settle down. Yeah, but it was a good experience. Charged me like $17, so it wasn't bad.
Yeah, to do like my hair and stuff, I don't even get it cut. To get it trimmed and all, but to be honest, trimming I think is harder than cutting this kind of hair because you got to be steady with it. So if I do the beard and I do the hair, like trim it up a little bit, it's like 30 something. Plus, well, like with including the tip, it's not too bad.
Oh yeah, it's not
and I don't
bad.
even go all the time, anyways. I mean, I should for the beard, but I'm too lazy.
I try to go at least every like month and a half, maybe. It gets too long. And
if I'm rich with it, I'd do it like every 2 weeks, maybe even every week.
Really?
If I was rich, dog, I mean, make sure the beard.
If you were rich, I mean, I'd have them come to my house.
Oh yeah, of course. Like,
I ain't going out there every week.
I'm gonna drive there every week. Hell no.
Hell no.
No, they coming to me, dog, and we getting this situated. They gonna have their own little space in the home.
They're gonna have the quarters, you know, the barber shop,
the barber quarters, dog.
Yeah.
But just have him on call. Be like, hey man, I need a cut. He just come from we in Nigeria, and like mansions and compounds, excuse me, we have what's called like a boys' quarters. I don't know why. Well, I know why it's called that. It's usually where like the guys and stuff stay. But like that's like sometimes like the help. So like you have like a gate man or something, like they'll stay there. That'll be like where the barber stays, and then he just walk like a minute or like 30 seconds coming to the home, and then boom. Alright, now you say you need a cut, let's go. That's what I'd have. A barber's quarters.
Yeah, man. So we just did that for the intro. That was a 10-minute long intro.
Oh, where?
Yeah. We just spent 10 minutes talking about random stuff. This isn't even part of the podcast. So let's get on to the real topic. This is like a stereotypical like question, but like if you could get 3 meals a day, what would they be for the rest of your life?
How is it stereotypical? I thought you about to come at me with I know you black people. You like I thought that's what you're hitting me with. No. I was like, oh shit, let me get comfy. He about to say something.
No. No, I meant it was like a stereotypical. Like,
I get it now.
Talk show question.
See, you know, I always be talking about race, so you know, I'm a race baiter apparently.
I guess. Did someone told you that?
Nah, no one's ever told me that, but I wanted to make it seem like I got haters. But everybody loves me. No one actually hates me. Except that one guy in 5th grade that stabbed me, but the teacher said he poked me. Yeah, F that dude. Even though he tried to be cool with me. I know his whole name.
I remember one time in elementary school, I lightly kicked someone in the back, and they started crying. I mean, I guess maybe it wasn't that light.
Yeah, it probably wasn't light. You probably didn't know your own strength back then.
Yeah, probably.
Hit him with that Spider-Man kick, dog. Yeah. You thought shit was sweet. But go ahead. Let me not get you off again. Well, pause.
All right.
Let me not get you off subject again.
It's fine. Okay. So if you could eat only 3 meals every like for every day of your life, what would they be? Breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Oh, it's like that? Oh, shit. See, I had some written down, right? But I can't eat pancakes every day. I'll legit die, dog.
True.
Y'all know I'm diabetic. Like that, it will like if everything I have is carbs listed here, dog. I will actually die if it's every day.
Okay. Let's make the condition if you wouldn't die.
If I wouldn't die.
Yeah. What are just your 3 favorite foods to eat?
Like 3. All right, dog. Cause
no medical conditions.
I wouldn't make it past a month. It's over. I'll be back in the hospital. Keto
no, no,
acidosis
no.
stout, dog. All right, so I got pancakes, obviously, the
Pancakes
superior
is a good
breakfast
one.
food. I don't know, y'all waffle and French toast lovers could go neck yourself, cause that ain't it. Then we got for lunch, we got pressed or a grilled sandwich. All right, so I'm talking paninis or anything that be kissing the grill. I got a sandwich, it gives you some options, right? You got your spreads, your meats, your cheeses, and then excuse me, now whatever else you want to put on there. I think like that just hits a spot. That's a go-to. This is a staple. You could, if I had to be every day, you could all mix and match, do different things with that. The sandwich, dog. Sandwiches are limitless.
No, yeah. So the idea, before we continue, the idea is that you can. It has to be a base thing, but you can always add like some ingredients, change them.
Okay.
So if you say like, so I wouldn't say like a certain dish, like a really specific version of a dish, because I want you to be able to. So like when you said sandwich, it could be a BLT one day, it could be tomato. Turkey the other day. But like it has to be
some avocado because we
type,
millennials. Well, I'm a millennial. I don't know what you are.
Let's not talk about that,
boy.
okay? We're not gonna get into it,
okay? And then last one I got some good pasta, dog. With the stipulation, you gotta have some roasted broccoli, and I got a recipe for that. All right, my roasted broccoli shit is amazing, delicious. If you hate broccoli, you love broccoli after this. All right. My brothers and sisters, they ask for it all the time. Like, can you make the broccoli again? I'm like, nah, man. That shit for me. That shit too good to be sharing. So the broccoli, all right, get your oven hot, 450 degrees Fahrenheit. I just got to say that because we got a worldwide audience here at the Young Podcast. We got some Europeans and whatnot. All right. So 450 degrees Fahrenheit. Celsius Achilles.
Celsius. Blow the hell down.
Fahrenheit. Okay. Get some olive oil. Rub it over your broccoli. All right. You're gonna use frozen broccoli. Fresh broccoli don't work the same. It doesn't do the same thing in the oven. So it gotta be frozen. I'm sorry, y'all. You health nuts, whatever you want. Your organic. I don't know all this shit, but it gotta be frozen broccoli, okay? Because the way the ice melts and everything, it mingles and it makes magic. All right, the cream that pops up. Anywho, frozen broccoli, olive oil, okay? Salt, you gotta put some salt on it. Not too much, not too little, but some salt, okay? Cayenne pepper, you gotta put some heat in there. All right, some cayenne pepper. It's not too spicy. It's cayenne pepper. So you can handle it, but you gotta put enough, okay? Last, you need some garlic powder. You go not crazy, but you go crazy, okay? Garlic powder. Put it in the oven, 30 or 45 minutes, depending on how the zones in your oven, how hot it gets. You want to see some black ends. I'm not gonna lie. You gonna think it's burnt, but it's not burnt. Okay, it's roasted.
Yeah, people always.
It's called,
you gotta let it crisp up.
You gotta let it crisp up. It's roasting now. You roasting this broccoli, all right? It's gonna have this crunch when you bite it. It's gonna have a crunch, and then it does like a melty thing, and it kind of just blasts in your mouth. Beautiful taste, amazing. Honestly, if you're not making it tonight, you're not living right, man. So
that rhymed. So it's gotta be true.
It gotta be true. Pasta with some roasted broccoli, a la Aham. Or excuse me, Maha on the podcast.
Yeah.
But Aham cook. Maha be chilling. I'm like Nicki Minaj. I got split personalities. Even though they are the same, really. But yeah, that's me. We got pancakes, sandwiches, and pasta with some roasted broccoli.
Yeah, that sounds super good.
Sounds super great.
So for me, breakfast has always got to be eggs. And like eggs go so good with everything. You can make like spinach egg omelet. You can make it with chorizo, which is Mexican sausage.
Chorizo. I haven't had
that shit
in
is
a long
classic.
time.
It's been so long since my mom used to make this shit for breakfast all the time. You could have it with some bread. You could put some cream cheese on it. There's so many things you could do with eggs. It's just so versatile.
Yeah, versatile.
So, and then Like I don't know, especially good quality eggs. Like let me tell you, like I started buying expensive eggs, like $6 for a dozen,
Why?
because they're so good. So like now I'm like repulsed by like the cheap ass eggs,
Eggs
because
is
I'll open them
eggs.
and they'll be so like little and so like fragile,
You need to get the extra
and they'll be
large
like
eggs.
this pale ass yellow, like disgusting to look at. But when you open these nice like Happy Farm, like I think that's called Happy Farms.
Happy Farm.
I
You
crack it
sponsored by
open.
them?
It's I mean, hey, I'm
You
here.
spon-
I'm
I
here. You
mean,
know,
you just giving them
you
advertisement.
crack them open, and they're like this nice like orange, like
Orange.
yeah, they're supposed to be orange, like yellowish orange,
Where?
but it's like this nice like deep orange, and the taste of them is so good.
So then, what do you
It's
call sunny
amazing.
side ups if you make it with that?
You still make sunny side ups with them.
But they're orange.
It's
The
like
sun ain't orange.
it's more like you know, sunset up or some shit. You know, sundown up. It's more
My
like
son
sundown
yellow.
than sun. I mean, if it's that pale yellow, something's wrong with that sun. You know what I mean?
Nah, when
But
you go outside, you gotta put your shades
okay,
on.
yeah, I guess you gotta
Gotta
put
put
your
your
shades
shades
on.
on.
So, for lunch, definitely ramen. Like ramen,
Ramen.
it
Okay.
hits different.
For
Like,
lunch?
yeah, for lunch, definitely for
Okay.
lunch.
Okay, yeah.
Come on, like,
I can see
mean,
it.
I don't know. I've
Yeah.
always eaten it for lunch. It's like a daytime food for me.
Yeah. I
Man,
dig
it's so good. Like, there's tonkatsu ramen, there's miso ramen, there's all kinds of ramen. Boy, there's
it.
no limits.
He only knows two.
And what do you mean? No, like I forgot what shoyu ramen. I don't remember the Japanese names for them. Shoyu ramen is soy sauce ramen.
I had to put him on the spot.
Of course they make like chicken ramen. They can make all kinds of stuff. But it's so amazing. The eggs, like the soft boiled eggs, are always good. Chashu pork is to die for.
To die for.
Yes, it is so good. The noodles like are usually well I go to like nice places, so like they'll be good quality. It's always like amazing, and then you can put so many toppings into it. Like there's this place down at like a farmer's market that sells tonkatsu ramen with like this corn on top. It's like this roasted corn. It is so good. I don't know what they put in that corn, but it's just different.
Roasted corn. Corn?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't like corn?
It's not really.
Bro, corn is so good. It's barely digestible, but it's still really good.
Corn?
You put some
like...
fat on corn, and it's amazing.
I don't know. Like, corn has to be hidden. It can't just be like ply in your face with it.
Nah.
It gotta be hidden.
Well, I don't know. I guess for my culture, like, you know,
tortillas,
corn tortillas. We make corn, you know, drinks. We make roasted corn, esquites, corn snacks, all that jazz. So we make corn. We make a lot of corn products. So I've always loved corn, especially fresh corn. Like I remember a couple years ago, we went down to my uncle's farm, and we got corn fresh from the fields.
Okay.
And that shit was amazing.
Pesticides and all. No, I'm joking.
Yeah. Yeah, but it was amazing. It was really good.
Okay.
It's just like it's like so sweet, but in a good way. It's not like sugar sweet, but it's like
a different kind of sweet.
And then for dinner, it definitely have to be mole with arroz, with rice. Mole is like it's I guess you could call it a stewed beef, but it's usually chicken. It could be anything really. It could be pork, it could be beef. Yeah, it's a meat, yeah.
With that chocolate.
It's basically they use chocolate, they use plantains, some graham crackers, they use big dried
crackers. I've never heard of that one.
Yeah, they do that sometimes. Not everyone.
Why are you making it seem like it was like the like you don't really fuck with the graham cracker?
I'm trying to remember. It's just to add like sweetness to it.
Yeah.
I don't know why they don't just put sugar in it, but whatever. I guess. Anyways,
extra.
So they put like big I forgot what the chilies are called. I think they're a mixture. It's like 3 of them usually or 2 of them. It's like ancho
Oh,
and
yeah,
guajillo
ancho, yeah.
and you let that shit stew for a while, and that shit becomes this thick, dark brown, like like amazing thing. It smells heavenly.
Mm-hmm.
When they first cook in it, stinks up the whole room, makes you cough your lungs
Of
out
course,
because of
all
the
that pepper,
spice.
dog.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like, this is gonna be good. You know what I mean?
You
When
dying
you
out
smell
there.
that, you know it's gonna be good. If you go somewhere, you know it's gonna be good.
I get the
And like
respirator out.
with some plain white rice, like
Plain
it doesn't
white.
have to be
Okay.
flavored. It just has to like because
All
it's
the flavors
the
from that
mole is
mole.
already really spicy and it's got all the spices in it.
Mm-hmm.
So because I mean everything in the mole is roasted usually. You usually put like roast it with a little bit of oil.
Yeah.
And that's
What
how
you
you make
drinking
that.
with it?
What I'm drinking with it, bro,
Yeah.
some horchata goes really well with it.
Okay.
Um, basically any agua frescas, which is basically like fruit water.
Ooh, agua
It's like
fresca. I like how you said that.
actually you're right.
All
You say
smooth
you
and
remember
shit.
one day. Remember one day when you're talking about how you would use water for a smoothie? That's
Well,
basically what aguas frescas are. It's just fruit with water.
oh, legit, I have one right now.
I just thought about that. But yeah, it's really good though. It's really good. It's like refreshing. It's not like
Yeah.
super sweet.
This one's
It's just
watermelon.
the taste of the fruit. It's like drinkable water. It's
I
like
hate
drinkable.
it.
Really?
This one, at least, I don't know, man. I thought it was.
I don't know. My favorite is always agua de Jamaica, which is hibiscus tea or something like that.
Ah, okay, okay.
That's the American name for it, or English terms. I don't know.
Hibiscus.
I think that's what the flower is called. It's hibiscus.
Yeah.
And there's melon water is my personal favorite.
Mm.
Cantaloupe, and then the horchata is also really good too. But you have to go to a place that makes it
Yeah.
like well. Because sometimes they just push it from a packet. That shit tastes horrible.
Yeah, this one, I don't know. Like, I knew to expect watermelon taste, but I wasn't expecting it to literally be like crushed up watermelons. Like,
oh yeah, it's straight up just you just crush it.
Yeah, I had it. I took a sip. I was like, "Oh, uncle, this ain't what I want." He's like, "Want to get something different?" I was like, "Nah, man, it's cool. I'll just tough it out." And I'm still drinking it, dog. This was like around 3:30, dog, and it's 6:30 right now.
Oh my god,
I was struggling with it. I was like, bro,
yeah,
if I had
it.
some Sprite or something with it, it'll be good.
I've always loved those drinks. It's really common for people to take fruit and make that into drinks because I mean it's so expensive to buy Coke. I mean, well, it's not like that expensive, but it's a waste of money. Like, why would you buy Coke?
Yeah, you just pick up.
We could go out, pick some
tree,
fruit.
No?
Yeah, and then make some. Like my favorite one, it's not available here.
Oh yeah.
And when it is, it's like really rarely made. But my grandma has like big ass mango trees, bro, and she would make me mango water. And that shit would talking about fresh. Because usually, even if you find someone that sells mango water, it's usually from a box, like pre-made concentrated shit.
Yeah.
Talking about my grandma would make that shit fresh for me. Like, I would see her press that. I'd have to go pick the mangoes, but she would like press that shit. And oh my god, I love that shit. I would always
That sounds.
Because I would visit around the country visiting the different family members. Whenever I left her place, be like, "Grandma, you gotta make me a big ass jug so I can take it with me."
It's just like, well, you gotta pick a lot of mangoes if you want that big jug.
yeah. I would go out and just get a basket full of mangoes.
Hey,
and it's really weird because the kind of mangoes that I like, which is mango de piña, which translates to pineapple mangoes.
Yeah.
They don't really eat those there. They use those to feed the pigs for some reason. And I'm like, how though? These mangoes are amazing.
God,
I love them.
Taste sour. I don't know.
No, they taste really sweet. Like they taste, like it's got a similar acidity to pineapples. I think that's why they're called that. But it's really good.
That's what I was going for.
Yeah, but I don't know. There's so many those are so good. Those are so good.
I feel like it's like you ever watched the movie Forrest Gump?
No, I actually never watched Forrest Gump. I've watched clips of it.
I used to be in that boat, and then they made me watch it, and
I kind of don't want to watch it at this point, just to spite people.
Bruh,
you know?
I'm about to go on another rant. You ready?
Okay.
U.S. history honors U.S. history. I call it hush people got mad
Huh?
at me. The AP people, they got mad at me because they called theirs A Push. So I was like, shit, I want a cool name. I'm gonna call ours Hush. And we'll start calling it Hush, and they're like, nah, you can't do that. I was like, well, I just did. I'm in Hush. So anywho, we get towards the end of the year, and it was just like a dead day, so we're like doing whatever. So guys, he's like, hey, you guys wanna watch Forrest Gump? And everyone was like, yo, I love Forrest Gump, love Forrest Gump. Someone's knocking at my door, man. Give me a second.
You want to take care of that?
Nah, not right now.
Okay.
So
Yeah, I remember Hush and A Push from school too.
they were like, you want to watch Forrest Gump? And I was like, I've never seen Forrest Gump before. All the white people looked at me. You never seen Forrest Gump? I'm like,
I know.
Yeah, I've never
dude,
seen Forrest
literally.
Gump. What I look like watching Forrest Gump?
Dude, anytime someone talks about like an American like legend or really any European like American like the Beatles or something, or like some old ass bands, you know, or
sorry,
old American movies, and I'll be like, yeah, no, I haven't watched that. They're like, oh, what? And I'm like, yeah, dude. Turns out you can grow in a different culture. I didn't know you could do that. Oh, he just left. Guess we gotta wait for him. Is we for you or an air push? An A push?
Oh, you wait on me? Sorry.
Yeah. No. I'm just waiting.
Okay.
Okay, so what was I saying? What was the last thing you heard me say?
No clue. They were
Okay,
like
so
yelling through the door.
oh, okay, so I would be like no, I have never watched any of those like famous like old American movies and stuff, like music or any of that stuff. And they were like, "What? Really? You haven't lived then?" And I'm like, "Yeah, dude, sorry. I guess growing up in a different culture is like a bad thing. I guess didn't know you couldn't grow up in another culture and not know any of these things."
Nah, see, I got it both sides, black people and like white people. So I don't know like the American classics, but then I also don't know the black classics because I never watch like the BET movies. Like my parents are Nigerian, and so we look like watching I don't know like Baby and shit, hustling.
Yeah.
Flow. Like bro, I'm sorry, I don't know anything, but yeah, it's just they crazy for it, man.
Yeah, like I grew up watching Chavo del Ocho and stuff, so
Yeah, I don't watch movies.
And whatever cartoons were on Saturdays.
Oh, we got some Nigerian movies, I guess. I don't know names of them. They're also mad dramatic. Like if you've seen like the Instagram and like the Twitter clips of people being like mad extra, like that's legit like all Nigerian movies. It's not like a one-off thing, like a one-off meme. Like that little boy that everyone like, he's not a little boy, he's a grown-ass man, first of all. And
the one that's dancing, that he's like this.
Oh no, not that one that's dancing. That's the guy. The one that's what's the meme? Dang, the meme isn't coming to me right now. But they're always the one's like, oh my god, and he throws a knife on the ground and puts his hands on his head. And don't worry. Anywho, that he's a grown ass man, and he's like in a lot of those movies and stuff, and it's just like we've seen a bunch of those. They're all like, I don't know, got some Christian angle to it and demons, and they be mad scary, dog. I don't like watching. But that, and if you ever want to talk about the Phantom of the Opera or the Sound of Music, I know those. Oh, and Grease, I watched that a lot. And some Disney movie, Grease, dog.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. It's the guy with
is it Danny? Sandy, can't you see?
I never watched that movie either.
It's a musical.
Or a musical.
Wow. Honestly.
Yeah. I guess we're just uncultured, Maha.
Just a little bit, but it's fine. You're still cool. You play video games. I play video games. That's all that matters.
Yeah, that's all that matters. That's all that matters.
I'd be playing some Halo then watching some dumb movie, some Forrest Gump. Rather play Fortnite than watch Forrest Gump.
True. Okay, so on to our next topic. So I don't know if you've seen have you seen the new iPhone?
Yeah, they got 3
Okay, so
cameras.
yeah, they got 3 cameras, but them and the Pixel 4, like I'm a really big Pixel fan, but them and Pixel 4 have like the worst designed like phone, like the back side of the phone.
Oh, for
It
the
just
back.
looks what is that? Have you seen it?
I've
The
only
the
seen the
camera
iPhone.
the camera positioning.
I saw the iPhone one. It was like the triangle, I think.
Yeah, it's got like okay, so it's not even flat. It's like
It's
raised up,
raised.
and then on
Yeah,
top of that, there's 3 like cameras, or there's 2. Is it 2 or 3?
it's 3. It's 2 on top, 1 on bottom. For the at least for the
Yeah.
iPhone, that's the only one I saw.
So it just looks like I don't know what they were trying to go for. It looks like a fidget spinner that they just stuck on. You know what I mean?
I just felt like it was a phone. I don't know. I saw the only thing I saw about it was that people with like the tripo whatever thing, trypophobia, whatever it is, like the fear of holes. Like it was like triggering some people, and I kind of get that sometimes, not all the time. But I looked at it and I was like, "This is nothing." So
The
I didn't
same
see
thing with
anything like
yeah. Well, that's
crazy
weird. I
or
actually never thought about that.
yeah.
That could trigger people's trypophobia. So the also with Google, I don't know if you want to look that up real quick, but they have a similar looking thing where they have like that raised square, and it's just like okay, Google's talking to me. So anyways, yeah, it's just got this raised square, and I don't know what to think about it. It just looks kind of off. I don't know.
Oh, and
Especially
it's
the
like 3
flash.
cameras and a flash.
Yeah, you see that flash?
Yeah.
That flash looks really ugly.
I feel like people aren't gonna care about this stuff once they put their cases on it. I don't know people that go around with a naked phone.
Well, you're
Well,
gonna put
one
the
they
case on it, but that's gonna make it like the thing is still gonna have to be standing
not because
out.
the case will like it'll be flush with the case. Flush with the case.
I mean, I guess there will be certain cases, but most of the cases that have been released, like have to have that hole for the entire thing.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like
Hmm.
it'll have the hole and stuff, but like the
Oh,
back
you're
of the
talking about
case will
it'll
be
make it
same
even with
level.
the
Yeah.
yeah,
So it
so
won't
it won't
even
be
be
like jutting
like
out.
yeah. It won't be like crazy looking.
That makes sense. But
But it'll be
another thing
fine.
is, so a lot of controversy has been going on, at least for what I've seen for like people with the iPhone costs like $1,000.
Don't they always?
Um, huh?
Don't they always cost 1,000?
No, they just started costing 1,000 with the iPhone X.
Huh?
But what people don't like is that it only has 64 gigs, and so
Didn't it
you think
always only
64?
have 64?
No, it used to have like 16 or some shit like that. But
I don't know about that.
I think yeah, the last iPhone was the one that started with like 32, but this one's 64.
Wait,
And
so they're
but
mad
people
that they gave him more memory? Sorry,
no,
no.
they're mad because they still at that price point you start at 128 gigs. So you basically still getting like paying a lot for like similar like the similar product.
I'm a
You know what I
little
mean?
lost. Hell
So
no, I
like
don't.
okay, so you compare the new iPhone, right? 64 gigs, the base is
Uh-huh.
$100,000, right?
Okay.
And then you had to pay like 200 to 300 or more dollars to get like the 128 gig, right?
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's stupid.
Okay, so Samsung Note 10
Hmm.
has a better camera. I think it's fast. No. I think actually the iPhone's faster. That's just because their software is really optimized, and the chip is really good. I heard.
Okay.
So with that it costs $1,000, and you get 128 gigabytes. Okay,
Okay.
you get the to upgrade. It's only like $100 more, and you get like 200 something, right?
Hmm.
200 like 60 gigabytes, and that's what people don't like because not only like especially because the limitations of iOS, the fact that the new Note 10 still has like an SD card you can remove.
Yeah, I was about to say,
There's a
don't
lot
they
of
have an
things.
SD card as well with the
Yeah, they
Android
have an
phones?
SD card.
SD slot, I
Um,
mean. You could just upgrade your memory or whatever.
yeah, exactly. Which is like it's just the same. It's usually the same old
I
conversation.
mean, all right. So here
Even
we
though
go.
Apple improves
Oh,
like
okay.
in steps, people think that they're really out there doing shit. They're not doing anything. They're just literally the technology's been around forever, and they're just
Yeah,
slowly
you're just
going.
paying for the
People
name.
are like,
You're paying for that little apple that someone took a bite out of. That's what you're paying for. Like, I don't get this anger. Like, if you're mad about the product, don't buy the product. They're like, nah, I need to have the latest and greatest iPhone. I don't want my text messages to
that's
be
just
green.
the same thing.
I don't want my
There's
text
always
to be green, dog.
this is just first world problems, dog. There's always this, like in consoles too, Xbox versus PS4, always.
That's so stupid.
And then the higher tier PCs, and then there's always been Apple versus Android. There's always been Coke versus Pepsi.
No. But I think the difference is that with Apple versus like Android and stuff, people
Apple
are just
completely wrong. You're right.
Yeah, well, yeah, but like Apple people, they're like so gung ho when like just guzzling from all sides, like the Apple products. Like it makes no sense, especially when they're not even like better, like at all. Like I know they always mean about like the phone camera quality, but it's because like Apple does like some weird compression or whatever to make it look bad. Like if you look at the Android phone that took the picture looks fine, but then they see it on like Snapchat or something like, ew.
Oh yeah, Android, you know why? Yeah, it's because there's the people who run Snapchat and Instagram and stuff. They don't optimize their phones for Android.
Yeah.
And they only work on they push up updates first on Apple before anyone else.
Yeah, so it's like you're just not. I don't know. Like the stuff is fine. You're just being weird, and I don't know, man. They just.
It's just like the whole cloud culture behind Apple too.
Yeah,
it's really
exactly.
Annoying. Like I was talking about getting a new phone yesterday with some friends.
And
I was like, yeah, I'm thinking about getting either the Pixel 4 XL or the OnePlus 7T, which makes like for $600, it's the best phone on the market. Like I'm talking above the Note level. It's got a 90 hertz screen, big ass battery, nice screen,
90 hertz,
all this shit. Yeah, it's like it's $600, and like it's zero brand name shit. Like it, I mean, not on the phone. It has the brand on the phone, but like it's got no brand value. But like Samsung, even Samsung has brand value. You know what I mean?
Of course, it's Samsung.
Because it's usually always Apple being compared to Samsung.
Yeah.
So yeah, the OnePlus, the OnePlus 7 Pro came out earlier this year, but they usually do a revamp of it called the OnePlus 7T. That's what's gonna come out? It's called the T version.
So it's like
it's gonna have a yeah. So it's like an updated version. So like the TI basically.
Yeah.
So it's gonna have the same screen, slightly bigger battery, a newer chip. You're gonna have all this stuff, and I'm waiting to see because apparently the Pixel also has a nice decent battery size. It's got a 90 hertz screen.
Hey.
So we'll see. We'll see how that goes and what I'm gonna buy. But it's like you can get like so much more for like so much less, $600. That's $400 saved.
That sounds nice. I mean, I still got an old phone. I got an iPhone, ironically, 6S Plus. But the only reason I got it was because I don't know, Apple people be so butthurt about stuff. So they have their group messages, and apparently, I don't know why, because I've been in group messages with iPhone people before, but they're like, "Oh, you're on Android, it doesn't work." I'm pretty sure it does. Like, but so basically, they'll come to a decision on stuff for like the group, and then they'll tell me we're doing this at this time. I'm like, oh, okay. Like, I'm busy, but sure. And so like they'll just do, and I was like so annoyed with them just, oh yeah, I'm an iPhone, you can't be in this group message. I'm like, okay. And
yeah, that's why everyone in college uses group me now.
Yeah, I mean, like people normally use that, but for I don't know, it happened enough times.
Use WhatsApp or Line because those apps are really fun to use.
My mom uses that. Nigerian community uses it a lot.
Yeah, so do Hispanics. I'm in a bunch of family chats and stuff.
Yeah, so I ended up deleting it because you get like unsolicited. You basically get like email stuff, like spam emails, and so I deleted it because I was tired of getting that. Because the Nigerian version of it's like just so stupid.
Yes, I actually, now that I think about it, a lot of people that don't live in the United States use that app. I know my Japanese teacher uses it all the time.
Yeah, when I went to Spain, they were asking for the WhatsApp.
Yeah, I think WhatsApp is like the universal app.
Yeah,
because like it's internet based, so it goes to everywhere.
Service. And they got like internet everywhere, like Wi-Fi. You just be joining shit. here
Yeah.
my uncle's like struggling. He's like, they don't got Wi-Fi. I was like, nah, dog. Like, no one really got Wi-Fi like that. Pretty free, you know. Like it says they got Wi-Fi, but it's locked. And I was like, yeah, cause that's for them. They ain't trying to give that shit out. It's expensive here.
Yeah.
You get 2 people on one network, it's done.
That's true. That's true. That's just how it works.
We just behind. Nah, that's how it works here. Over there,
Yeah,
you got...
we're so far behind.
I was in what's called a
Greatest.
stadium, and I was using like my Snapchat and stuff when I was videotaping stuff at what was it, the Wanda Stadium? I don't remember, where Atletico Madrid plays, and I was just using it like it was nothing. And over here, you try to do that at a football stadium, it's done.
Yeah, basically, it's so weird. Yeah, we definitely need to get, and that's probably gonna be a thing in the future too. But the fact that it's taking us so long, I don't know. We're such a backwards country sometimes.
All the time, but
Don't.
go off.
Yeah, true. So little progress done over such a long period of time.
Yeah, we just ugly.
But let's say that for another episode before we get into that. So another thing that's hitting is distrust of media and distrust of science, and a really big part of that that's coming out is the anti-vax movement. I don't know if you've ever heard of that.
I might have heard a little bit about that, Ronnie.
I think you heard a little bit about it.
Just a little.
Okay, so I work for my personal experience. I just want to tell you, like, I always knew about this thing, but I never was like, okay, I hope I never meet these people in person, right?
Yeah.
It's like I've never seen them before in my life. Where are they? Are they just like in like Alabama or something?
No.
You know, in the like.
Nah, they in Cali,
recesses. Yeah, exactly. So I work at a pharmacy. I work at a pharmacy in a really rich area. I'm talking mansions.
Yeah.
And like, you know, servants and butlers and shit kind of place, you know?
Sounds like people that are rich enough to be dumb as fuck.
Yes. They're so easily misguided.
They got the money too.
So flu season's right around the corner. Get your flu shots, guys. Get your flu shots. They're free at pharmacies, you know, they're covered by your insurance. So we have to ask them to get we have to meet a certain quota of vaccines a week, right? So we had to push them a lot, and then people will be like, no, I don't want to get. Actually, one of my coworkers doesn't want to get their vaccines, and I'm like, dude, you work in a pharmacy. First of all, I don't even get why vaccines aren't mandatory. They are in like, I think
in hospital settings they are.
Yeah, hospital setting, medical fields, you usually always use vaccines. And it should be the same for pharmacy. You should have to take your vaccine, you know?
It's because you're not interacting with patients.
I mean, I guess.
The reason it's like mandatory in hospital is not because they want the nurses and stuff to like not be sick. It's so you don't get the patient sick. They're not trying to get in trouble.
Yeah, I know. But I mean, it's still mandatory, like, for everyone in some places, you know, and that's what we should do. Unless you're allergic. I mean, of course, they have exceptions for people that are allergic.
Yeah.
Or have problems. But the majority of people are not. So I had a conversation with a dude, and he's like, yeah, dude, I know people that took that vaccine and they got sick. And I'm like, okay, sir, then what's the last time you've heard of someone, you know, in the United States dying from the influenza virus? And he's like, I haven't heard of that. And I'm like, you know why? It's because of the vaccine. Because he was complaining about how the flu is a virus that always evolves and stuff, right? And like, there's no point in trying to vaccinate yourself because it's just not gonna work, right? And I'm like, well, I mean, I was like, what about polio and stuff? You know, we got rid of that with the vaccine. I think it's classified as a dead disease now here in the States. I don't know about the world.
Oh, in the U.S., yeah, but it's endemic in certain countries.
Yeah, I'm just talking about the U.S. So I'm like, you know, that doesn't, like, first of all, isn't it called like an anecdote when you try to relate something to your own experience?
Oh, anecdote?
On a broad scale? Yeah, it's like, first of all, that doesn't work. Because there's been science and studies done on large scales over vaccines, and the science is there. And it's like, I don't know, man. If you don't want to get your vaccine, that shouldn't be your personal choice. because it affects everyone. Like I get freedom and shit, but when
Hmm.
you risk me and my family, my potential children from dying because your kid is not you or your kid is not vaccinated, I'm gonna need you to get the fuck out of here with that.
You
I
know,
can't.
you know what's
That's enough.
funny
Mm-hmm.
with the whole like anti-vaccine thing is that a lot of them are like vaccinating themselves against all these other diseases like measles and rubella and shit, but they won't do it for their kids. It's really
Mm-hmm.
funny to me. It's like, but aren't you fine? And, and like they don't ever talk about themselves because obviously they were vaccinated, especially as a kid.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't understand. Vaccination has literally been the way people have avoided diseases for such a long time. Like there's even since like a long time ago before we people knew what vaccines were, people would like get their children like sick with something,
mhm.
so they could outlive it and then be fine with it the rest of their lives. You know what I
Do you
mean?
know how the first vaccine was made, or like how it came to be?
I don't remember. I heard this. I remember actually listening to a podcast
Hmm.
about the vaccines. But you can remind me, yeah, because
I,
I've forgotten.
I mean, I'm a public health major. Well, I
Hmm.
graduated. I'm a bachelor's in that, and I'm working on my master's right now in public health. So I'm in epidemiology class right now. So, basically, smallpox and stuff was a thing. If I remember this
Hmm.
right, I actually might be wrong. But one of the dude noticed that the help and stuff weren't getting sick by this disease, and he was wondering why. And apparently, they get something called like cowpox, like a
Hmm.
lower level disease, and because of
Yeah, I'm
that, they
starting to
have
remember.
immunity towards the higher level disease. So he was
Hmm.
like, that's really interesting. So he did something highly unethical, which is he got one of his helps that have never had cowpox before and made sure he got it. Just took like some cow gunk and just smeared it all over her. Eventually, she came to the disease. Wonder
Hmm.
why, but but after a while, they found out. Oh, okay, yeah, she ain't getting. Oh, and then I think they forced someone like smallpox around her. I'm
Hmm.
not 100% sure on this. So I might be lying. But then they, they try to see if she would get smallpox. She never ended up doing it. I was like, oh, cool. So, like, if you have this disease, you don't get this disease. And then they started actually working with it to make a vaccine and stuff towards it. And that was like the first
Hmm.
kind of like way vaccines came to be. Just because it's like,
Yeah,
all
I
these people
remember
don't get it.
stories of like when vaccinations were just starting to come into like knowledge, like common knowledge. I don't remember. I might be wrong too, but it should be something similar because there was this ruler, and I think he was in China, like a part of China.
Hmm.
He would he like passed this thing where uh the doctor ladies would uh like what's it called? Present you with a disease, right? With I don't remember which disease. It might have been probably was chickenpox or cowpox. Same similar scenario, right?
Hmm.
And they would vaccinate people by letting them get this low low version of the virus that people could survive pretty easily. And but people were mad about it because he made it well, some people were mad about it in his kingdom because he made it mandatory. So like one of the things he wrote in his like his memorial or whatever you call it,
Hmm.
he was like, yeah, some people were like mad about it, but in the end those few people that died were worth the majority of people living. And that's just how it should be, because yeah, you can get sick and you can die, but uh, that's what you get for being weak, dude. No, I'm just kidding. But no, but seriously, stop being a selfish asshole, and you don't have to, he doesn't have to get vaccinated. The whole deal is, I mean, well, yeah, you do have to get vaccinated. I'm just talking about if you're allergic to it. But back then diseases were so common, and now we live at a point when so few diseases pose a big threat to us,
Yeah.
and that's
Basically,
because of vaccine.
we don't get killed because we shit too much. Like now we get killed because we too fat
Yeah.
and we
People
live
used
too
to get
long.
diarrhea that would literally just end your life.
Dysentery, though.
You saw that shit get watery, it's over. Like goddamn.
Common diarrhea used to kill niggas. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
and now
Like,
it's
and I
man,
don't.
you
Now
eating
it's,
too
oh, I
good,
get a little
dog.
bit of sick. I get some cold symptoms because I took the vaccine. It's like, dude, okay, get over it. I highly doubt the people that say they get actually sick with flu and don't like. They're probably just experiencing cold symptoms
Yeah,
because
definitely.
it's a dead version of the virus in that flu shot.
Sometimes.
Usually, yeah, but it's usually a weekend or dead.
Yeah, well, it's always a weekend or
Yeah.
that.
Well, I mean, like one or the other usually, as in. Yeah,
I mean, there
give
is
you a
no other
full-on, like,
alternative. So it's like, what do you mean
strongest version.
usual?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, it's actually so weird to see these people who like have so much in position of so much wealth be so stupid. It's like, how'd you get there? And I feel like it's part of the way we live in now with like the whole, fake news shit. It's like people just don't believe in science
I don't
and
even
and,
think it's
and
that.
news as much anymore.
I think it's
You don't think
more
so?
of we've lived so well for so long that these people just have not seen what these diseases do to people. So like you said, polio, like breathing through a whole machine and stuff,
Hmm.
like having a machine like regulate your life. Like they haven't seen people go through that, so they don't know the dangers of like, man, what's a little polio gonna do to me, you know? So I think it's more of that, to where it's just ignorant, like legit just ignorance of what diseases really are,
Yeah.
and it's why they feel
I
like
mean, yeah,
it's
that's part of
unnecessary.
it too. But the whole anti-vaccine thing started with a fake study done by this guy for attention or some shit like that. He wanted like recognition, right? So he made this fake study, and that's how the whole anti-vaccine like movement started. Because he made this fake study about like how vaccines cause autism
Mm.
with fake information and fake data, and more people were believing it because they don't trust traditional media anymore. And yet, traditional media can always be biased. It's always going to be biased. Any news you get is biased, right? But at least it's like like true. Like the base is usually true most of the time. And the fact that people don't trust, they trust Facebook ads more than they trust the news now because of certain political figures, advocating uh, for like news to be shut down and to not be trusted.
Yeah, I know
And the
that's a
same, yeah.
dangerous thing.
What'd you say?
I say yeah, it's dangerous. Just the mistrust of media, and just how people just,
Yeah, it's just
if
it's
it
just
doesn't
so
come
weird.
from their favorite talking heads, then they don't believe it.
Yeah, exactly.
And so everyone likes
It's
living
just
in their own
so
bubble.
weird. Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. And okay, so that's that. Now on to another thing. The related to like government and stuff and regulations. Vaping is going to be, well, maybe not going to be, but it's talked about being banned. You heard about this?
Oh yeah, again, public health.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, of course, of course, of course. So yeah, now that's actually why I actually chose one of these topics too, is because you are public health, and I wanted to get your thoughts on it
My
because
thoughts.
yeah, your thoughts on what it like what it means for vaping to be banned, and do you think it should be banned or shouldn't be banned? Because I personally think it shouldn't be banned because people are already on that nicotine addiction and they're gonna go for cigarettes next. Which, like, I mean, even if vaping is worse for you and tears up your lungs, it smells way nicer. I don't want that cigarette smoke. Okay,
Okay.
you're choosing to die anyways. You're choosing to get
Well,
cancer,
let
basically.
me
But
hit you with some facts real quick. All right.
okay, yeah, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
So, cigarette smoking, like teenage cigarette smoking, was on like the downturn for a while, for a couple decades now. But and it was close to being like not a thing anymore. Like just
Yeah,
teens not
I
smoking.
heard we were supposed to be the generation that ended smoking.
Well, that's a cigarette propaganda thing actually, but that's
Oh,
another
really?
story. Yeah. The
Monk
those
S. Okay.
commercials, yeah, they're like ran by like cigarette companies. When I heard that,
So
that
the
blew my
truth
mind as well.
commercials?
Huh?
The truth commercials?
Yeah.
No way. So you're talking about the lame? They make them lame as fuck on purpose so people will hate them?
I'm not 100% sure. I didn't do enough studying into this, but I just remember it coming up in class one time. And they were like, "Oh yeah, that's cigarette companies." And I was like, "What?
Oh my god,
What do
my
you
mind
mean?"
is blown. Holy shit.
They're like, "Yeah, that's that." So it was on the downswing and pretty much close to being like not a thing anymore. But then vaping came along, and people were like,
Mango
"Oh,
flavored
this is
jewels.
cool, dog." And yeah, and then like the uptick of like smoking related habits and stuff just cropped up, and it became huge again. And it was so like, what if vaping just was never a thing, like the whole cigarette smoking would have pretty much solved itself. But now we have people that who would have never been introduced to nicotine and gotten those nicotine addictions now, excuse me, are seeking out that hit and seeking out that release from it. So if they were to go to cigarette smoking first, I'm not necessarily sure they would. I've never vaped, so I don't know, but I feel like the taste would just be 100% different, and they may not like it the same way they like vaping or whatnot. So there's a chance that yeah, they do move back to cigarette smoking. There's a chance they just stop altogether with any related smoking. But even if they go back to cigarette, then I think that downturn still continues. Well, will happen again, where people, you know, they're understanding the negatives of cigarette smoking and they don't want to go through it and blah blah. And then I think it starts being on a downturn again, especially with teenage related smoking, and eventually in some generations it'll stop again. So my thinking, I'm cool with it being banned. I don't know enough about.
What is the science? What did they find?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I don't know enough about vaping.
You don't know enough about it?
Yeah.
Okay, because I don't actually know what they found that they killed these. Apparently, I think it was like 4 people that died from vaping. What they think is from vaping. But either way, there's been so many people that have died from alcohol. So many people that have died from cigarettes. So many people have cancer now because of cigarettes. And it's like, why don't people ban that stuff? I feel like it's all part of the game that like big tobacco companies are playing. You know, it's like, hey, let's introduce this new thing, and after that, you know, people are starting to have some doubts. So let's put all the negativity on this, so people will stop thinking about cigarettes and how we were so close to getting rid of cigarettes. You know what I mean?
I don't think I'm really on that wave. Just because there's so much, especially in the health field, that people are doing to make cigarettes go away. Especially think of your college campus right now. They probably don't even have smoking zones anymore. That places that you're allowed to smoke even. So it might even be like smoke-free campus. And that's changed like a lot throughout even the last 20 years. So a lot of places gone from, okay, yeah, you smoke wherever, right? Then it turned into you can only smoke at this part of campus. Then also you can only smoke this part of campus. Now you can't smoke within 75 feet of a building. Now it's 100 feet. Now it's 200 feet. And every 200 feet you go, there's a building. So now you can't smoke on campus. And it becomes like a lot harder and whatever. Just even smoke on campus. So I think there's a lot of regulations and whatnot that are going in towards eradicating smoking. It just happens slowly. I don't think you won't ban it overnight. That's not a thing really.
Go. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
But eventually, I think you have such a small subset of the population that relies on it that I think they'll move on to other things or whatever. That'll be like enough where it's not even a huge issue anymore. Just the same way people thought like you would never get rid of smoking in like restaurant stuff. Remember that was the norm not too long ago. And now it's like you ask for a smoking section, people look at you like you're stupid, like they weren't doing that 10 years ago.
Dude came into my place of work, which is a pharmacy, smoking, and I was like, and all the customers started complaining, and it was like the stinkiest cigarettes too. I don't know what they were. That shit stunk so bad. I had to get air freshener from the shelf.
When it comes to vaping though, just so I can add this point, there's not enough known about like what it does to the body, because like it's such a new thing, so it's not enough research done over the long term that'll tell you exactly what's wrong with it. So there's this principle, oh damn, I'm forgetting the name already, but basically the principle dictates that if like within reason, like if there's a reason to believe it'll cause a problem, it's better to not use that product and instead use something else. It's like an environmental health kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I know in places like the UK, they use that principle a lot, like in terms of like other things. That's why, you know,
Mm-hmm.
we use so many products that have certain dyes and whatnot that in the UK is like banned, right? Because they have that
Mm-hmm.
principle. So I'm thinking that's kind of what's happening right now. Precautionary principle is what it's called.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's what's happening when it comes to vaping. Is yes, there's not enough data on it. You might be able to do a lot of other stuff with it that might not relate to nicotine and whatnot. Uh, I actually don't know people that use vaping with nicotine in it. I don't know. I don't know. Again, I know very little, but I think
Mm-hmm.
that's what's happening right now. The precautionary principle is being used to say like, all right, this thing probably shouldn't be a thing. We don't know if it's harmful or not, but it's
Mm-hmm.
probably has a chance of being harmful. So let's nip it in the bud, at least while it's young, before it festers and becomes like an integral part of, you know, society, like cigarette smoke, like alcohol, the things that you call for bans, that it's harder to just ban that outright. Guns, if we talk about America, you
Well,
can't just outright
actually,
ban it. um
actually, for me, it's never been let's ban anything. It's always been let's heavily regulate and make sure we have systems in place that can keep track of how people use things.
but you
Like
know,
for
he just
me,
said that, like,
huh?
why don't we just, why ban this when we
No,
could
no, no,
ban
no, no.
other things?
It was along the same line of thinking. I was giving an
Okay.
example of if people really, if these people are talking about banning that, why don't they talk about banning this other thing? And that was just part of me talking about how they're being paid off by lobbyists.
uh,
But this is no. But I believe that we should not ban. And actually, I believe we should illegalize all drugs. It's because it's way easier to help treat people if everything's out in the open, and it's actually proven that having everything legal actually reduces the use of illicit drugs in the countries where they've done that. So like, there's places that like administer heroin, like clean needles. They don't administer it, right? But they give them clean needles to use and stuff like that, and it's way healthy. I mean, obviously they're still doing drugs, right? But way less people do it. It's easier to help them rehabilitate because it's out in the open and they have to go get it, right.
mm-hmm.
And it's just a lot safer, and I feel like that's the move we need to make because illegal
Safer in
prohibition,
quotations.
huh?
Safer in quotations.
I mean, if we talk about statistics and stuff, it's definitely way safer. um
I mean, you're still doing
but
drugs,
you're still doing drugs,
so safer in
but
quotations.
the whole point of having these places is to talk people out of it and to help rehabilitate them, because it's still people. You can't just take people off straight off really addictive drugs. You have to wean them off of it.
Mm-hmm.
So the whole point of these places is to help with rehabilitation. So I don't even remember what I was talking about before you said safer. Do you
You're saying
remember?
it's much safer to
Yeah,
do,
it's
and
much safer, and I think it's the next step we need to take to because first of all, it'll reduce. Well, obviously it'll reduce illegal activity because it'll now be legal. It won't be as dangerous for everyone involved. Um, People can get the help they need to get off of these drugs, which are super bad for them and fry their brains and turn them into goblins. And prohibition when it comes to drugs and basically anything has never worked. Prohibition sparked speakeasies and sparked it's what started what's it called, sophisticated gangs in America, right? What was that guy's name? Uh,
Al
the
Capone,
famous
maybe.
like mob boss in Chicago or whatever.
No, I think that's New York. I don't know.
Well, whatever.
I
But
said Al
it's
Capone, but I don't know if
yeah, Al
that's,
Capone. Yeah, like
yeah.
stuff like Al Capone and stuff. That's what started, and like well, there's nothing we could do about Mexico, but at least here, it's like those what's the word for that kind of crime, like gang, like
Gang related. I don't know.
it's like because I said sophisticated gangs, but it was like there's a certain word for it.
Mobs.
It's like whatever it's called. But either way, it'll put a stop to a lot of that stuff here in the United States. And we once that stuff is out there and people know that they have a problem, it's way easier to help people. I believe we should legalize everything. And also the talk with guns, people don't want to ban guns, and if we keep talking about banning guns, we're probably never gonna get that done ever. And even like we should just talk about common sense gun laws and regulatory like laws to be put in place, because right now there's a process, but it's way too easy to get past,
Hey, you just
and
gotta
there
go to a
should
gun
be
show.
yeah, exactly. There should be psychiatric evaluations that have to be done mandatorily every year if you want to keep your guns. Or at least like I don't know, every 2 year, whatever. Like you gotta go renew your passport every 5 years or some shit like that. You should have to renew your gun license as well every 5 years. Have a psychiatric evaluation, a background check. Um, the red flag system I heard was a thing where like if you show signs of like mental breakdowns or some shit, you get your guns taken away. That's just how it should be. You know what I mean?
I hear.
And it'll stop a lot less people from getting guns, because when you talk about like this, there's been so many shooters, like mass shooters, that have gotten their guns fully legally, and they got fucking arsenals. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They just mow down 20, 30, 40 people at a time. And I don't understand how people think that we shouldn't change anything. You know what I mean?
You know what's funny? I mean, it's
What's
not
up?
funny, but it's funny to me because
Mm-hmm.
I'm a sick individual, I guess. So,
It's
whenever, huh?
funny in a fucked up way. Yeah.
You know, funny in the sense of irony.
Yeah.
So when we talking about like needing a bodyguard, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're like, yeah, man, I'm not trying to get shot. You know, these people shooting, they crazy and stuff, blah blah blah. But
Mm-hmm.
I was in my boy Ranger, shout out Rangers, in his stream. They're talking about getting a bodyguard and stuff for him. Like, if he goes to like an international event or some shit, I don't know. It was like they were memeing and stuff. But they were
Mm-hmm.
talking about like, yeah, man, you don't want to get stabbed. You know, if you go this place, you're gonna get stabbed. And I was like, that's crazy. Like, y'all worried about knives. Like, like they don't think
Yeah.
about gun violence. Like, that's
They
a
don't.
because it's not like a
Yeah.
thing. And then us, we're like, yeah, man, these people shooting, dog. Like,
Any
it's a war
cops
zone,
just
dog.
take you out for
Right,
looking at
and,
them wrong. You know what I mean?
and it's like, all just that juxtaposition of like how different people just see the world because they're not
It's like,
experienced
yeah,
or they're
imagine living in a fucking civilized society.
Yeah.
Imagine.
not.
Can't relate.
They're like, yeah, man, you know, the stabbing, that would be crazy.
They might stab you. Yeah,
They
yeah.
might stab
Not
me.
here, bro. They could be 50 feet away and take you out. You know what I mean? And there's nothing anyone can do about that.
I just thought that was funny. Oh, we talk about shootings. They're like, stab.
Stabbing, throwing acid on people. You gotta get up close and personal for that shit.
Yeah.
But here, we keep it long distance. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, shit's fucked, and people don't want to fix anything.
I don't know.
Mm-hmm. All right, so now on to more gaming topics. Let's talk about WoW, World of Warcraft Classic that released. So I personally, I've played WoW before, like the most current version, but I've never played the old WoW, right? Classic.
Mm-hmm.
I barely played it. So, Classic WoW really blew up when it came out. It was like top charts when it first released.
Those are.
Like everyone's talking about it. I don't know how you can Twitch stream WoW, because that's just boring. Like if you tune into any WoW stream, it was a background thing, you know? Like they were playing WoW in the background, and the main thing was like a YouTube video or some shit.
I didn't watch any WoW streams. Not gonna lie, it's not my thing. Watching any sort of MMO does not sound like fun times. Like I do not like a single streamer enough to be like, yeah, dog. I don't know.
Yeah, that's true. I tried watching some people play WoW. And I was like resident sleeper, dude.
Like I know for sure XQC didn't hold your attention long enough for you to be like,
hell
this
no.
WoW
He played WoW, and I was like, I'm done. I guess Twitch was not. Yeah, but the big thing is like how much people wanted that release. Cause did you hear about the backstory of Classic WoW?
A little bit, not too 100%
Okay,
familiar.
so just to refresh you, so people had this old server for that ran classic vanilla WoW. I think it was called Nostradamus or some shit like that. Probably wrong. But anyways, it was
Oh, I
a
think I
server
tried
for people
using
to play Classic on, and people were fine. People were happy. And then Blizzard comes and shuts it down. They shut it down because they don't want anyone to be playing vanilla WoW. And I don't know. But eventually they hear this. They hear people. They're like, you guys don't know what you want. You guys don't actually want Classic WoW.
That's what I heard. I didn't know
Yeah,
about the
yeah.
other stuff.
And it's like, okay, these guys are morons because I mean, the Nostradamus, the whatever the vanilla WoW server was live and well, right? People are like, no, 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 give us back Nostradamus, no, give us back vanilla WoW, classic WoW. So they hired the team that made that server.
Oh, what?
Yeah, they actually did hire. I don't think all of them, but they did like the main two at least, from what I heard.
That reminds me of Halo.
Yeah, that were CS:GO stuff like that. The original guys, those are all mods. Of that. So in classic WoW finally, like after so much time, people are waiting, it finally releases, and it just blows up all over Twitch. So many people remember this game from when they were young. The at least PC gamers do, right? The majority of people who watch Twitch are PC gamers, right?
I
I
don't
would think.
actually know the statistics of that.
I feel like that's a true fact. Most people. I mean, Twitch is a website.
It's
It's an
also an
app,
app.
but it's a dog shit app. So
I mean, there's
I don't
apps on
think
the
people.
Xbox and PS4. It's pretty easy to use.
Yeah, but I doubt like people usually. I feel like most people watch Twitch first on PC before they start
I
watching it
think actually mobile
on everything
is the
else.
highest.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's probably correct. That's probably factually correct. But I feel like where are the statistics from? Are they like United States or are they like Korea and China and stuff
It's
like
like
that?
globally. Well, at least in Twitch's main audience region.
Okay.
So it'd be mainly NAU.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, cause I thought for sure it was PC,
Same thing with YouTube.
but either way, well, yeah, I know YouTube is definitely mobile because everyone has it pre-installed usually. But
That's
anyways,
true.
Classic WoW blew up and it was all over Twitch, right? Everyone was playing it. Um, it was like the people broke records over it. What's the guy Asmongold? He broke like personal records. So he was like at 165K, so or something like that, viewers or some shit. So he was hanging out with the big boys like Ninja and stuff, right? He was up there with like Ninja and shit with the viewers. Um, and we're seeing a lot of resurgence of old games too, right? In these times, like Minecraft is coming back, Halo's coming back, Halo CE. I mean, the what's it called, Master Chief Edition, Master Chief
Actually,
Collection.
I wouldn't say it's coming
It's
back.
coming to
It's been out.
yeah, but that's on Xbox. Who plays on Xbox anymore?
Xbox players?
Hardly. Anyways, yeah, the it's being released on PC where it belongs finally.
I wouldn't say where it
Um,
belongs.
I would because it was on PC first, and now it's back where it belongs. Those games are making a big resurgence, especially Minecraft. Minecraft's huge now again, and it's just and the good thing about those games is that I mean, aside from WoW, because you got to pay $15 a month for WoW, but it's still like solid content. You know what I mean? And not it's not to those games aren't, especially Minecraft. It's not microtransaction heavy, and like I don't know, something about those games definitely have a charm. You know what I mean?
Doesn't WoW have a lot of micros?
Probably. That's why I said Minecraft.
Okay.
So yeah, I feel like those games hold a lot for us, and I hope developers start looking back on older games and seeing like how people really enjoy the content already inside the game, rather than cheap transactions that make the game easier or things like that. You know what I mean?
I hear you.
Yeah.
It's I don't know. It's just for me. I was never really geared towards those kind of games. I was a console
hmm
gamer, so
Yeah,
Never
so
really
was I. I
cared
never
for
played
it.
well like that.
I played RuneScape, but even old school RuneScape didn't bring me back in. Like I think I tried it for a little bit, but then I was like, this isn't the RuneScape I remember. So I
Hmm.
like left. So I don't know. I know a lot of people want like the old games to come back, but
Yeah.
well, I understand them wanting it to come back if like you're not able to actually play the game anymore. Like I understand that.
Hmm.
But I don't want dev time being taken just to revamp old games and bring them back. I like new shit. I want to play something new.
That's true.
Like I don't want to play a game from the 90s. Like it was in the 90s.
That's
Like
true.
let
That's
me
true.
play a 2019, 2020 game. Like give me that. I don't.
I mean, I kind of, to be honest, I kind of went off on a tangent. I meant to talk about how it's usually not the devs. It's usually like the what's it called, the publisher that like thinks that we as the consumers like, are wrong and they're correct.
Mm-hmm.
With Blizzard shutting down that the original server, or I think last year was it? They announced Diablo mobile game. They were
Mm-hmm.
like, everyone has phones, right? And you know how
Are
more
we
and more
talking about
people.
publishers or are we talking about devs?
What was that, devs?
Devs are the
What
ones
was
that
it,
like make
devs?
the games.
Yeah, yeah. But it's mostly publishers that push these things like the mobile games and for like shit to be shut down so they can do it themselves. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
For monetary gain. Am I wrong?
Oh no, I think you're somewhat right.
I mean,
Um,
devs. I do hear a lot of. I mean, some devs have clapped back, but I feel like that's just to protect them and their projects. Because people are shitting on them when they should be shitting on the publishers. Because I highly doubt the publishers want all this shit in their games. You know what I mean?
don't the publisher or devs?
I mean the devs. Fuck. Now I'm fucked up. Now I'm fucked up.
So I think I've seen enough articles that people want to like shit on like EA or something, right?
Hmm.
But then an article comes out and it's like, actually, it's not really all EA being like scumbags. Like BioWare also, had their hand in the mess.
Hmm.
And so that's something like I don't know. Like sometimes, like yeah, I do want to just shit on a publisher for whatever reason because they're making the Bungie going this direction. I don't like that, right? But
Hmm.
sometimes it is just Bungie, and as much as I love Bungie, sometimes they're just not doing what they're supposed to be doing, and
That's
they're not
true.
listening to the right community
That's true.
because they want to please like their publishers or whatever in a certain way, and they feel
You
like
gotta please the stockholders.
exactly. So that's why I feel like because sometimes it's just like it's not even like the publisher saying something, but the devs feel the pressure and feel like, dang, I gotta please my publisher, so let me do
Hmm.
this and that. And the publisher never said like, hey, you gotta do this, like. So that's why I was like, nah, like, sometimes, but it's hard to just put it on one person. It's a case by case scenario for sure,
Hmm.
but sometimes the publisher's fault, sometimes the devs fault, sometimes mixture of both. It's hard to really know unless you go inside and you get like a Jason Schreier, article that tells you like, hey, this is why Anthem sucks dick. you know,
Hmm.
this is why Destiny, to use a game I really love. Like, this is why Destiny isn't doing too hot right now because I don't want to say anything bad about Destiny. Me and my love.
Yeah, I know. I know. I know. All right, so I did want to talk about um some events, but okay, so have you heard Atlanta Rain for Overwatch League is doing really well?
I've heard of them. I
I
didn't
did
know
not
they were
know
doing
that. I thought they were like they were like mid-tier team, but
it. Ooh,
apparently now they're rolling. They're actually
sorry.
rolling.
Can you give me a moment?
Yeah,
I
okay,
really
go
gotta
ahead.
pee.
Did I not say it correctly? Atlanta Rain? Jesus. Overwatch in 2019? True. I don't even play that shit game anymore. I still watch Overwatch League though. I play Rainbow Six now. Yo, you should play Rainbow Six Siege. It's really fun. Like, actually really fun. Oh, I said it right. Okay. I thought I did. Yeah, gaming's kind of dead. That's a true fact.
The gaming's dead?
Like competitive gaming.
Smoking dick, but alright.
What?
You smoking dick, but alright.
How am I wrong? What?
All these games that are doing well, you saying it's dead.
No, I mean like it's boring. Not like it's actually dead. Not like when people say Fortnite is dead, you know? It's dead.
I mean,
like...
that's what you just said, basically.
Nah, that's not what I said.
Because
basically.
it's not dead, but it's boring to you, so Fortnite's dead. That's the whole Fortnite's dead meme. That's what you're on, but you're on competitive.
Is it really?
Gaming. That's
yeah,
really what you're saying.
I guess.
You're part of them. We like Fortnite.
Part of the hater group.
Floss haters.
I like Fortnite though.
That's you right now.
Just everything's gotten mad stale. I don't hate things. I just think it's gotten boring. People say I like Fortnite. It's like that's hate. People actually hate the game. I don't hate the game. I just think it's gotten boring. Okay, so what was I talking about? I was talking about Atlanta Reign. So apparently they're doing really well, and honestly, that's pretty cool because I live, as you know, I live near Atlanta. So, like, I'm getting kind of hyped because I stopped playing Overwatch right now because I'm playing Rainbow Six. But I still watch Overwatch League, and I think it's still fun. Like esports in general is pretty fun to watch. It's like these high level players going at it, a lot of emotions, just like real sports, but way cooler to look at. So yeah, that they're just popping off, and I'm like, God damn, I live right here, so I'm gonna have to go to the next event.
Oh, the next big well, whenever they're in Atlanta, I guess.
Because they were at the playoffs, I'm pretty sure. Like they were at the actually, I think they were grand finals. I mean, I'm probably wrong. I'm pretty sure they were at the finals or semis or some shit like that.
You know why I don't care about Overwatch esports? Because it sucks to watch.
You don't get it?
222 is garbage.
Yeah. No, I don't think it's garbage. I just think the characters are making it garbage.
Yes.
Remove the shields, please.
No.
Remove Sigma's shield. Sigma does not need a shield. Okay. Sigma does not need a shield.
Trash. Do you know why 222 is trash?
Why?
Because it's trash. And
but
Ghost is trash.
You should like 222. You should
no.
like 222.
No.
Because Doomfist is popping off because of 222. He's Nigerian. You should be like, hey,
he is Nigerian.
You should become a Doomfist main.
But no, I suck at Doomfist. I tried to be the greatest Nigerian Doomfist player in the world.
Nigeria is warlord.
I actually couldn't play Doomfist. I don't know. But anyways, 222 sucks. Goat sucks. The only thing that's good about Overwatch was Dive. As a viewer, it was the only thing that made sense. Nothing made sense in Goats. Nothing makes sense in 222. Bring back Dive, and I'll tell you why. With Dive,
yeah,
even though everyone knew what was happening, that's the point. Everyone knew what was happening. Because now, I don't know who's dying, who's winning, who's losing. It's just a whole bunch of shields, particle effects, Moira blinding you in the face. And then whatever. With Dive, Tracer, Genji, go win. Zenyatta says, hey, yo, kill this nigga. Ana boosts the Genji, and you're like, all right. He goes, oh, la, la, la. And then you know, oh, shit's about to pop off. Boom, boom, boom. He getting kills. Everyone, oh, shit. Ah! And everyone knows, like, okay, yeah, that Death Ball comp won. And then they changed it to some other stuff. The Wombo combo. Wombo combo was fine as well. It was kind of like an evolution of Dive, I think. That was okay. But ever since then, everything garbage. Because as a viewer, I don't understand what's going on. I feel like people that high key play the game every day, pro players, don't even know what's going on if they watch if they're not actively in the game. Spectating Overwatch is trash. I guarantee it, dog. I guarantee they're like, yo, what the fuck just happened? Oh, man, I don't know, man. Can we play that back, slow it down real quick?
I can't see over the 3
They do not know what's going on. But if you're in the game, like in game, it's fine. Like nothing wrong with it in game, because like you understand what your player's supposed to do. You understand as long as you guys communicate what your team wants to do, so that's fine. But as a viewer, we don't hear comms. We don't know what's going on. Casters are yelling about something. There's a whole bunch of blinding effects on the screen. Lots of random particles and explosion. You ever see Spellbreak being played? When like 3 teams are fighting each other?
I've stopped playing it, yeah.
Bruh, all the particle effects, the bombs, the smoke, the toxicity, the electricity, the ice, you don't know what's happening. Same thing with Overwatch. You don't know what's happening. Just too much happening on screen. League had that issue as well for a little bit, but then they cleaned up the clarity a little bit. I mean, still, as a random person, it might be a little hard to see what's happening, but I think it's way more legible than Overwatch. Yeah. At least with League, you could kind of see, oh, okay, health bars are going down. You don't really see that with Overwatch League. You just see shield, and dying. Yeah. Oh, they're not dying. Wait, nope. I think he's about to. Nope. Wait.
Nope.
Wait. Hold on. Yep. Moira's blinding the camera now, so we got to go third screen, wide view of overhead shot. And now we don't even know what's really happening. Which team is which team? And now everything's like, oh boy.
Yeah,
222 is trash. Dive is the best comp. Changed my mind.
That's true. Dive is really fun too to play.
Hell yeah. Have you seen my Genji video on Reddit, top of Reddit? 2015.
You've always talked about it, but I never talk about it. I never watched it.
Don't say I always talk about it like that. Chill. I don't know. Let's talk about it. Nah.
But, speaking of shield metas in Rainbow Six Siege, there's this new operator that I just released. Who has 3 shields. Okay.
Nah, I'm joking. You could continue. Apparently, the Rainbow Six Siege tourney was in Raleigh. I could have gone, but then I was like, oh wait, it's Siege. The fuck I look like watching that?
Oh my god, it's so fun though. Okay, so
imagine sending a quarter for like 2 minutes, doing this. You win the round. Ooh. Great esports, guys. Oh my god. Great esports.
Oh my god.
This is the most exciting thing they do.
It is so much fun. It is so much fun.
That's the most exciting shit they do in Rainbow.
they just buff shields in Rainbow. So like now they're better to use, and they also have little see-through holes you can see through. And they added this new op who has 3 deployable shields you can put down that are all explosive. So you shoot at the shields from a certain side, and then they explode, right? So now like so many people are using shields now. It's actually becoming the same thing.
Oh yeah, you bust a hole, a tiny little blot, so you just stick your gun in there, wait for them, and then they don't even know why they died.
Yeah.
Rainbow Six, best esport alive. Changed my mind.
I love one. I mean, Smile. I guess. Yeah, it's definitely not like an entry one. You definitely have to know the game before you get into Rainbow Six. Yeah, man.
I'm sorry. Like, it's not my play style. We've talked about this before. Siege is just not for me. It's a hard counter to my play style. I'm just in your face, go. We gotta fight.
It's a patient strategical game.
You just say strategical?
Yes,
strategical.
Strategical. Whatever, okay? Whatever, dude. I come up with words on the fly, okay?
Oh, on the fly, you ad-lib.
All right, dude. Okay, so I'm starting to run out of time, so I'm just gonna skip to the last 2 topics. Yeah, I'm sorry, dude.
Well, chill, relax. Oh, okay.
But we're just gonna talk about the last 2 things real quick, okay? And what are some good single player games you've played?
You know I don't play single player games. So
you don't play single player games?
Hell no, I don't play no single player games. So, but I will tell you, because I tell you guys all the time when it's on sale, greatest single player game ever to grace this beautiful green earth that we're slowly killing, because fuck the earth, right?
True.
The Witcher 3, dog. The Witcher 3, amazing game. Shit combat, to be honest. But story just so clean, and I'm a sucker for a good story. The Witcher 3, best single player game ever.
Yeah,
Don't at
and
me,
along those
or I'll
same
shoot you in the
lines,
kneecap. Because it's America and I
while
could get a gun easily.
yeah, true. So along those lines, while multiplayer games and microtransactions have gone hand in hand, single player games have started to make a big like there's so many good ones coming out. Um and not to say that they don't have multiplayer, they usually have some DLCs with them, but it's not along the lines of, like gotcha games or loot boxes and stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's usually like you pay for what what you're paying for. So like these games like Last of Us was such a good game. Persona 5 was such a good game. Um, you ever played Undertale? You ever watched Undertale?
I've watched a playthrough. Oh, have I
That
watched a
was
whole
that
playthrough?
was that was such a
I
good
watched
game.
something.
Like that game's story and soundtrack and even the visuals were amazing. Like this dude, Toby Fox, came out of nowhere and said, "I'm gonna hit you with it.
Can I
I'm gonna
be
hit you with
honest?
what's up
I didn't understand the hype.
about Undertale."
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it was obviously blown up, but it was a super solid game for having been made by
It
one
just seemed
dude,
alright. See, I
and it
don't
had
like
a
that
giant.
stipulator.
I had a giant cultural like.
I don't like that.
You don't like what?
Because, like, oh, it's an amazing game because it was made by one guy.
No. Because it was no.
So,
Because
like,
how do I put
not
this?
that, like, it's not a
It
good
was an
game or
amazing
anything.
game, even though it was made by one guy. It's more like the thought
Nah, I
process.
think that's still a qualifier.
Whatever. Whatever. It's
Because
still a
it's,
really
like,
great game.
boosting how good it is because only one dude made it instead of a team of niggas.
I mean, yeah, I want to exalt the dude too. The dude put a lot of work into it,
No, that's
and it
fine.
was
There's
such a
nothing wrong
great
with
game.
that.
The
But I
story,
don't
like it
like
was
the
such a
game
simple
being
game,
boosted up.
but it was so well done. The soundtrack was amazing. The gameplay was fun. The story was immersive.
Can I ask,
What?
what gameplay?
The
Wasn't it just
gameplay?
text
Well,
boxes?
it's an old fashioned like if like it came out on the Game Boy, you wouldn't be surprised kind of game.
Yeah.
It's like a Pokemon kind of game with mini games
Yeah.
inside like the fighting. That's what I consider that fun because I like that kind of like
Really?
roll
You know what I call
roll
that?
what's it called? Yeah, whatever. We get it. But anyways, those games.
Oh, I won? Oh, I gotta read
God of-
58 paragraphs now? Ah,
oh
cool.
my!
But at least I get
It
to
was
hear
a really good game.
It
was like
in the background.
But it was a really good soundtrack. Come on. But anyways, God of War came out, and by the way, notice these are all PS4 exclusives because that's basically where all the good like single player games are coming from.
That's why I'm an Xbox fan. We go
Oh
pew
yeah, because
pew
you don't play
bang
fucking
bang.
story play games.
I don't give a fuck about no story.
Anyways, God of War, the new one was so good. Resident Evil, I think it was 2 remastered, so good. Like all those games are just so amazing, and
Oh, you said Resident Evil 2 remastered?
yeah, I think it came out on PS4 first. I think I don't know, but either way, those games are amazing. Um, and so with that, there's so many games coming out as well that are single player games that sort of single player games. But it just looks like it's gonna be amazing going forward. Last of Us 2 has been hyped up a lot. Doom Eternal, I'm looking forward to playing that. The Doom game that came out before this one was really fun, a lot of fun. If you're looking at point and click games, that's right there because you just tear shit up.
Point and click?
What? Well, yeah,
You
like
equate
shooter, like no brain,
shoot 'em up.
Yeah.
Point and click a different connotation.
Cyberpunk 2077 is coming out. That looks like it's gonna be a lot of fun. It's sort of single player, but it's also multiplayer. I think.
Well,
right?
multiplayer's coming out later.
Yeah,
but I'm pretty sure
but
their multiplayer is really.
I mean,
just
people
gonna
are
be
mostly
co-op.
probably gonna buy it for a single player.
Of course, it won't come out for like a year.
That looks amazing. And like, God of War 2 is definitely in the process. Spider-Man 2 is in the process. The first one was so amazing. All these good games are coming out, and I think as far as single player games go, we've got a lot to look forward to. So, I'm really happy about that. Any games you're looking forward to?
KFC dating simulator.
KFC dating sim.
Nah.
That's a good one.
I think Outriders, which is that Anthem game without the mechs. That one seems interesting. I think that one's by Ubisoft, if I remember correctly. I might be wrong. I don't know. It don't really matter. That one seems dope to me. I don't know when that comes out. Ghostwire Tokyo. That one still is a little interesting. I'm not 100% sure if I like that. Now that I think about it more. There was a game that came out at Gamescom that had me gripped until I learned more about it, and this makes me sad. It was a game made by like an ex-Bungie dev, I think. I forgot the name of it, so I'm sorry. But it was like you control a squadron of people, and you're in like some sort of mech or like a car. I don't remember, dog. I'm sorry. It just came to me now. But basically, I thought it was so dope because I thought it was co-op, and everyone's gonna be able to have like their own cool kind of like Destiny character in a sense, and it was like open world, and they were just gunning through this village, and it was cool. But apparently, you control them. You're like the mastermind, and you like control like your units, and you send them out to fight. And I was like, oh, that's sleep. I don't want to do that. I thought it was gonna be a real game, so I was excited for that until I wasn't. That whole spiel. Any other game? Another game that I was excited for until I wasn't again. That what's the game called? Outer Lands, I think, or Outer Worlds.
Lands, yeah.
Yeah, I was
Outer
really
Worlds.
excited for that. And then I saw gameplay of it, and I was like, oh, this looks like a Fallout clone, and it looks pretty.
You didn't know that it was a Fallout clone?
No, I didn't know that. I just heard about it, and then the trailer was funny, and I was like, oh, this seems like a game I could get immersed in. And then it was just like Fallout, and I was like, well, I don't like playing Fallout, so that's asleep.
Yeah, Fallout was kind of boring.
Any other game? I'm not sure. I mean, I will say Infinite, but that's like a while away.
That's a while away, yeah.
That's November 2020. Oh, I could say this: Destiny Shadowkeep coming out October 1st. Really gonna be mwah. They also have hey, you can sleep, that's fine. You don't like good games, so that doesn't hurt my feelings.
Good one.
There's also the free-to-play version of Destiny, so if you've never been into Destiny, you could try that. It's called Destiny First Lights, I think. I don't remember, but it's gonna be like you get the base game for free, basically. You could do all
Destiny
the stuff. 2? Destiny 2 First Light. You get to play like all the new strikes that come out, all the new PvP maps that come out. You'll be able to play that for free. Gambit, play that for free. You could be on all the planets. You won't be able to do the story missions on all the planets, but you can at least visit all the planets, do patrols and whatnot with your friends. You'll be 750 light, just like everyone else when Shadowkeep drops. So you'll be current light, and your friends won't leave you in the dust unless they go do actual story content. They can play like PvP and stuff with you. So it'll be cool, it'll be dope, it'll be fun. I love Destiny. Destiny loves me when it wants to love me, and right now it's kind of loving me because they're updating. They're giving us a lot more menagerie rewards, so I need to run that. Get me my menage, get my menage on, reckoning, get my god rolls on, all that stuff. But yeah, it'll be dope, it'll be fun. I'm enjoying life because Destiny's enjoying me. And that's all
great,
I
man.
ask for it to be.
For me, I mean, even do you think it's Resident Sleeper? Right now, I'm getting back into Rainbow Six Siege. It's really fun competitively. I'm having a lot of fun with it.
As long as you're having fun, that's fine. It's just a shame that you have fun with such bad games. But that's cool.
Okay, dude. We get it.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, man. So, yeah, that about does it for the podcast. I think, right? That's the so we talked about a lot of things, and I think it went really well.
All right.
Did you want anything? You have anything you want to plug?
Anything I want to plug? Yeah. What I'm gonna plug is my first impressions. Okay, y'all need to watch that. Okay, YouTube.com/ I don't think that actually sends it to you. But Maha Jr. on YouTube. Okay, the same. Oh no, yeah, the same Maha Jr. you see right here. Same Maha Jr. you find on YouTube. Okay, watch that series. It's dope. It's popping. We talk about music. I love music. You love music. We all love music. Let's do that. Okay, don't let the Rich Brian fans come at me for free like that again. Okay, I'm gonna need y'all to protect me. Help me out. All right. Also, Once we're done, don't leave, because I'm gonna be streaming. I want to play some Spellbreak. So if y'all trying to play Spellbreak with me, let's play. We gonna play that shit. Okay.
All right.
And that's all for me.
All right. Yeah. And for me, you guys can follow my channel. I'm not streaming right now, but in October, like mid-October, I'm moving to my new place, and I'll start streaming then. I have a lot of games that I want to run through, and a lot of plans to do. So I'm getting back my PS4. I'm probably gonna do a couple of like runs, play some Dark Souls, play some horror games, and of course play Rainbow Six. I'll be playing matches with my team against other teams. So make sure to check that out.
Okay.
Okay. And
Awesome.
so this was me, Cryo HP, and this is Maha Jr. Thanks for coming to watch the 6th episode of the Young Podcast. Uh, thanks for coming around.
September, hit that sub button for me. 250. Deuces.